Because I remember there was a moment when he said, so which one would you see yourself in? He said that to me. Because he's trying to gauge where we both are. And so he was like, where do you see yourself? And I said, I don't know. I mean, I guess if we had our kids, we would do a 2-bedroom. Right. I don't know. And so then I think he didn't see that we saw ourselves there. You know what I mean? But you are the one who made the denial. You said, no, we're not going to do this. And one of the biggest things that you said was, we don't make decisions of this size without sleeping on it.
Right.
Welcome. This is For Better and Worth,
the podcast where we don't believe you have to sacrifice your relationship while you grow and build your net worth.
We are your hosts.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Erica Young. And we're so glad you're joining us today.
All right, y'all, let's get into it.
The For Better and Worth podcast is sponsored by American Heritage Credit Union, a not-for-profit credit union that helps you take control of your financial future.
As a member of American Heritage, you're an owner. You'll be charged fewer fees, earn more in the form of dividends on your accounts, and have access to lower rates on loans.
Whether your goal is to save for a down payment on a home, create an emergency fund, or build for the retirement you've always dreamed of, American Heritage has the products, resources, and solutions you need.
After all, American Heritage is for the people, not for profit. So to learn more, go to ahcu.co/for better and worth. Hey babe, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I have to say, I'm feeling a little lovey today because 30 years ago today we met and
changed your life.
You know what? Facts, yes, and
changed my life.
Exactly. I am the best thing
yet to ever come into my life.
I love it. But right. But yeah, we met 30 years ago. Yeah. You remember that day?
I do. It was a good day.
It was a good day. I did, in fact, meet your cousin first.
Yeah, that's all good. That's my dude.
But yeah.
That seems like a long time ago when you say 30 years. Like, that's crazy. But it doesn't feel like, we're old enough to be saying, I met you 30 years ago.
I feel like it's so much life can happen in 30 years that it's hard to believe that we've packed that much life in already.
We do have 2 adult children.
I know, but I guess I can't remove them. But if I tried to remove them from the equation,
the equation wouldn't work.
You're right.
It would be an unsolvable equation.
Because a year and a half after we got married, we had a baby.
So it was like for 28 and a half of those years.
20, a long time.
Right,
we got married 28 years ago. So 27 and a half years ago.
Yeah, well, we had a little shorty with us.
We did have a little shorty. So,
yes.
So I don't know. It's a long time.
Like I said, changed your life.
Yes, and best thing that ever happened to you. we have our fake glasses right. and do
we can toast later.
Toast for 30 more years, baby.
Right.
So, but what are we talking about?
Today, we did it so you didn't have to. We did something that I said I would never do.
You did, but there was a moment where you said, "This is research. This is so we are bringing you our experience of
I just
research."
Had to tell the people up front that I made a sacrifice on behalf of the people.
Oh, come on now. Oh my God.
Because we did something I said I would never do again, and we took a timeshare tour.
We did.
And after the one time I went and the way they did us, I said I will never do this again.
Okay, so I have minimal memories of the first time we did a timeshare tour.
You don't need to remember it, because I remember it all.
Okay, so I want you to can you give us the brief synopsis of the original time we went to a timeshare presentation? And why?
I hate to say it, but we were being cheap.
Yes.
Because we wanted to get some free tickets to like
Disney.
a Disney theme park or something. But those Disney tickets are super expensive. And that was a long time ago. And we were budgeting back then. I was like, this is ridiculous.
I think we were still in debt.
I'm sure we were, because I was like, we're going to get these free tickets to Disney. And then that was when you would go to Disney and the pass, you get the pass and it was good for like a year or something.
Oh, okay.
So we were like, look, we about to take advantage of this, because we went a couple times on that pass. But anyway, we went and we did this tour.
Because we had more time than money.
Yes.
So we were willing to give up some time
to
for
save
a
some
financial
money.
benefit, right?
Yeah. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I pay more.
We got more money than time.
Right. I'm like, I pay more for you to leave me alone.
We didn't this time. But anyway, finish the story about the first one.
But the first one, you know, it just, man, it felt like we were going to buy a Toyota Corolla, or we were going to buy a Nissan Sentra, and we were at the little table in the car dealership, like just being hounded. And it just did not feel good. It felt good initially because they brought us in, you know, they showed us around and gave us the tour. And then when we got down to the brass tacks and we were saying, no, that's not going to work. No, we're not going to do it. I think they dropped us off someplace. I was like, how do we even get back to where we started?
So let's the cringy nature of it was when they wanted us to sign.
Yes.
They wanted us to make a decision and to, you know, take part in the timeshare. We were in a cafeteria style room across the table.
Surrounded by a bunch of other people doing the same thing. It was very loud
in that room. There was no privacy.
See, you remember?
I remember that part. I don't remember any tour. I don't remember none of that. But I remember being in that room. And I do remember, like you said, we got dropped off and we didn't know how were we going to get to where we needed to get to. But the point is, like, in that room, I'm thinking, how can you make a good, sound decision when you're sitting here amongst all these other people? And it was still thousands of dollars at that time. So it was just real. It was the I don't know, the scummy or slimy, sleazy sales pitches, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it didn't feel good.
It did not.
But this time we were going on vacation anyway.
Okay, so this was the vacation you got at the auction.
Right. So
that's how we
anybody who's listening knows that I bought a trip at a charity auction, and this was the trip that we went on. And we knew that it was a vacation ownership property.
Yes.
And we get there, property is beautiful.
Yes.
Like right off the bat, we were like, oh, this is nice. So
we were in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, I was like, it's super nice.
And ginormous.
Yes. And so, you know, we don't want to say the name of the place.
No, we won't, but it was ginormous.
But people will know. You keep giving them clues.
Maybe. But it was lovely. It was lovely.
The place was beautiful. And so they start offering us things to take a tour. And we being value conscious always, I say, well, what are you going to do to make my trip better today? Okay,
the very first thing they did was they gave you a drink.
Right? They loosened me up.
They loosened you up. But you said, oh, this is a good drink. And I tasted it. I'm not, I don't like the hard liquor or whatever.
It's just a margarita.
And I was
it's a vacation drink.
That's right.
I had my first margarita on vacation.
And it was like noon or something, and so I was like, we got all day.
I was like, I'm on vacation. I can have a drink at noon.
Let me taste. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty good one. But you drank it, and you were like, oh, this is great. Funny story, like the rest of the time we were there, any drinks that we had were subpar.
Terrible.
We were like,
I stopped drinking.
We didn't have any alcoholic drinks for 3 out of the 5 days we were there.
Yeah. And let's just be clear. We're not big drinkers to begin with.
No, so we were like, we're not about to waste our money.
I was like, I'm not spending money on these drinks that are not good. When I got a free drink, that was the best one I got.
And it as a way to entice you. So anyway, you asked them.
So they said, well, hey, if you do a tour, we'll give you, money off of breakfast daily. And we'll give you this, credit at the spa. And, we'll give you a percentage off your whole food and beverage spend while you're here, because this wasn't an all-inclusive, and we went into it knowing that. And we were like, well, hold on now. You speaking our language.
We like saving money.
Save some money? Like, we gonna eat. But if we can save some money, we're like, okay. But then, you know me, I'm always looking for more. I was like, if you want my time is premium and my time is valuable. And I went back to the Players Club. I was like, the Players Club.
Yeah.
So do something to make me feel good.
I was like, and he caught on immediately. That guy was like, let me think. He went in the back room and he came back. He said, well, we're going to upgrade your room, Mr.
Right, we'll
Young.
give you some deluxe accommodations. I was like, yeah, make my trip better today.
Now, okay? Because they were wanting to schedule the tour for the next morning.
Right. And I'm like, nope, you need to give me something right now.
Right.
So we got the room upgrade, and then they promised us all this other stuff. And that's what I'm saying. I sacrificed on behalf of the people.
At the time, we were getting some perks, and we were like, okay, this is cool. And then, I don't know, there was a point between, I think we were at breakfast or something, and you were like, this is good content. We can share this with our people.
Yeah. I think like, so we decide we're going to do the tour. And the next day comes, and they meet us, and we go to breakfast. And this is a little different than the one we did before, because it was 1-to-1. Mm-hmm. We were on the VIP tour.
We really were.
And so they got one of the top guys, and he's walking us around, and we're just talking. We go to breakfast, and it's us and him, and we're at breakfast and at the buffet eating, and they're paying for breakfast, and, you know, just talking. He didn't even talk about the ownership or the prop. He just was talking in general.
He was asking about careers.
Yeah, just making connections with us like a good salesperson does. Mm-hmm. Then he gave us the tour, and I was like, man, I was intrigued.
Yeah.
Because
you beforehand, you said, I'm going to give y'all, was it 61 minutes?
I said to his boss, like when we first got there, I said, listen, after breakfast, you got 61 minutes, because they required 60.
Yeah, they said, it's going to take an hour.
I was giving them a minute extra. Mm-hmm. I said, you got 61 minutes, then I'm out. Mm-hmm. I'm back to my vacation. I'm back to the pool.
And what's funny is that clock didn't actually start until we actually were on
Finished
the tour.
Breakfast, yes.
Yes, we actually started the tour.
And so we started the tour, and they started showing us like the property and, you know, what we could own and so on and so forth. I was like, these accommodations are actually fantastic.
It was beautiful. And I was trying to hold my words, because I'm a person, when the food is good, I'm like, this is good. I'm going to need some of this. I get excited,
yes.
Okay? When I see something.
I'm an accommodations person.
Well, and like when I like, you always don't want me to share my cards, because I'm an expressive person. Like if I like something, I'm loud about it. And so you're like, okay, calm down. Don't let them know that you like it so much.
Right.
So,
you're taking my negotiation power away.
So I was quiet when we were in there.
Yes.
I was like, oh, this is very nice. But I kept my composure. Okay.
You did good. You kept your cool.
I did.
And I was like, man, this is actually pretty nice.
I was watching you too, because I was like, oh, he like it in here.
Like this. I literally was like,
he said,
this is nice.
Our tour guide said, let's go upstairs. I said, oh no, we got a timeshare that's got a upstairs, some bedrooms upstairs?
I said, this is 2-story?
Oh my gosh.
This place was 5,000 square feet.
And the outdoor area?
I said, this is bigger than people's house.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so, you know, that's all good, but they can't get us with just some pretty accommodations. And I mean, it's alluring, and I see how people can be trapped into timeshares or vacation ownership, because you go and you see this beautiful thing, and you're like, oh man, this is awesome. I could come on vacation like this.
And I also think, I do understand how people get lured in too, because the way that they pitch it, they're selling you weeks at the timeshare. So in this regard, they started, when we actually sat down at the table to discuss numbers and what it is that they're offering, they were offering us 4 weeks, 2 on their properties and 2 on other properties around the world. And so I understand how you can get lured in and say, this means that I'm definitely going on vacation.
Yeah.
Like it is a guarantee that I can go somewhere and I don't have to do too much thinking about it, because we
Yeah,
have
but you-
become, and in the last 10 years, we've gone a lot of places and we've done a lot of the planning, or we've been with people who've done the planning, and it does take time. I get it. And,
Yeah,
but
that time that we invested is not worth the investment that they want you to make.
right.
So,
And so it is, I think people believe, and I know people personally who have gotten sucked into the timeshare world. And if it's like you think without it that you might not go on vacation.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that
we're going to go regardless.
we're going to find a way, like
Yeah, we're going
multiple
regardless.
times a year.
But I think they're selling the dream, because
Yes.
they're selling you this. I mean, we walk around this beautiful property and you see all these beautiful accommodations, and they've already dangled the carrot of incentive before you to get you there.
And reduced your faculties with, like when you're on vacation, you ready to drink and have a good time, let your
Yeah.
hair down, chill out. So
Yeah, your defenses are lessened, and I see how people can be drawn into it, and the weeks weeks here and weeks there. I think it can make it easy for you, but it's not free.
No.
Even when you pay this big lump sum of money to become a vacation owner, which you never really own it.
They that was the terminology they were using. They said, we don't need this to sound like a timeshare. We want them to feel like a vacation owner.
Right. They didn't call it a timeshare. It's
Yeah.
vacation ownership. I'm like,
Yeah.
you still don't own it, because you can't just sell it
Exactly.
and walk away. If I own something, I can sell it and get the residual value or the appreciation from my asset and move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
This ain't that.
So there's 3 costs typically. There is the cost to become an owner or a timeshare participant.
Yep.
There is maintenance costs. And sometimes those are the hidden fees, because in this case, they say, oh, we don't have maintenance costs. But they do have an assessment fee every 10 years.
Right.
Okay. So there's that. And then the third cost is every time you book,
You got to pay.
you got to pay for your week. So this is not like the best deal of the century. Like,
And to become an owner, it could go to $80,000-$90,000, and what they offered us was it's like greater than 50 grand to just become an owner.
for 4 weeks. So that's how they change it, right? So you can go down to 2 weeks and then it's 26,000.
Or no, it was the size of the accommodations.
Yes, the size. So you can get ownership with 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms
Or studio.
depending on how big you want each time your vacation to be. That's how much that is affects the amount that you're going to pay. And so it was just interesting. I was like, okay, so you have a few levers to pull.
They didn't
right?
know that we were financial enthusiasts and podcasters.
Well,
And that we would use this for content, because we didn't mention that.
correct. No.
We were there for, because I had bought the trip, and they really appreciated people like us, because we were not part of their vacation ownership. And the only way you could typically come to this property is if you were an owner. So they were asking a lot of questions, because they don't advertise, and they wanted to get insight on what we thought. And I will say the accommodations were great. We had a fantastic time, except it was extremely hot when we were there.
And I will say that the way that they did the presentation was really good, and it made us feel like, oh, this is intriguing. That was the word I would say.
Yeah.
They made it such that we felt decent about continuing, because we absolutely went beyond 61 minutes.
Yeah. And I knew the whole time that I was not going to commit and buy it. But I was in. I just wanted to see it through. And I was like, man, I'm kind of intrigued by it, just because the accommodations were so nice, and what we would expect. But once we did a little more research,
Yeah.
we were at kind of the top tier location. So,
Well, it's interesting because we went on a tour the next day, and this family that was there, this couple that was there, they were at another one of the properties, and they said, "Oh, this is the best one."
yeah,
Like
the one we
that
were
we're
at.
at is the best one that you're going to find. So even if you were to have gotten into the timeshare, you would think all of your kind of accommodations are going to feel like this one, and that's not the case.
So that right there, I was like, oh, hold on now.
Yeah, bait and switch.
Right. But at no time were we we were never going to do this.
No, but I think this is important for people, and I'm sure that there are people who are listening who have timeshares. Okay, let's be very clear. And on the other side of this, there are people who have been tempted to do timeshares as well. And there's some key things to like watch out for is that there can be the bait and switch on where you are is not how the accommodations will be elsewhere.
I talk to people all the time. I talk to people all the time who own timeshares, and they're like, oh, I only pay this to go on vacation. And our daughter, she went to Spain with, her boyfriend, and they used a timeshare, and they paid $90 for the accommodations, but I mean, I don't even know what the other costs associated with that.
Right, there are more fees. There's always maintenance fees, and there's always a cost to get in on the timeshare.
Listen, we're talking about this because we don't want people to be fooled and duped into something that you hear more and more about people who are trying to get out of timeshares or out of vacation ownership because either they can't continue to afford the fees or the assessment, or they don't use it, like they thought they would. And, we did meet one guy. He was a bit of a weirdo.
Who? Wait, when?
He was like, as soon as we sat down at dinner, he started asking us questions. He was sitting at a table behind us.
He was trying to give us one of his weeks.
He said, yeah, I have 5 weeks, and, would you guys come back?
He seemed a little odd, like he was waiting to talk to some people to give a week away. You gonna
give us a week?
Get out of here.
No.
I was like, this is weird. So
I think he went and got in a Predator van out front, like a white van.
But you know what? The other thing that this experience taught me was that all of the properties for this particular timeshare company had kids everywhere. They have kids. Yeah. They are a family. When we went through, they have a little hallway that has all of the different properties that they have, and in every picture was a kid. And so this is a family-friendly place.
We're at a different stage of life where
at this big age, with grown kids,
we need some adult-only locations
who have no children yet. I don't want to be around nobody else's kids. I'm sorry. Love them. Yeah. Y'all stay over there. I want to go.
Yeah, those who are listening, we love your kids too. But we don't want to go on vacation with your kids.
Exactly. So when we were going to the adult-only pool and the children were in the pool, I said, oh no.
I was like, hold up.
Oh no.
This means that
y'all got to get out.
This means that if I bought here and I came back, I'm always going to deal with these little kids. Nah, you lost me.
That's not my idea of vacation. And I don't want to buy into that. So I think that there's a lot to consider here. I enjoy the control of being able to choose where I go, when I go, how much I spend, all of the things, first of all. And second of all, it's 3 fees, one of which has interest tagged to it unless you're going to pay for it in cash. And who going to do that? So, because their fees were what, 9 and 10? Yeah. No. One of them was 12%. It depends on how long you choose, because they had a 5-year and a 10-year plan.
I just remember you ran some quick numbers, and you were like, well, this is the amount that it would cost for us to buy this. And this is how much it would cost to book every week those 4 weeks. And if we did this for
20
years, it was like $200 and something thousand.
No, it wasn't. It was 110.
I thought it was more than that.
No, it was $110,000.
I was like, $110,000 in 20 years. I had to think if I'm gonna spend $120,000 in vacations in 20 years.
No, we wouldn't, because you know what? You know how much we spent when we went to Africa.
We spent a grip. But that was for 4 people.
It was for 4 people, and that kind of vacation is not gonna happen all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big one.
And so I just really feel like people have to be in control of their decision making around this. And it's a new debt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hidden fees. The thing is they did not give us anything that showed the fine print for our 60 minutes turned into
It's
120.
like,
I think it was
no,
120
I think it was almost 3 hours.
with breakfast included.
Yeah,
It was definitely
about
3 hours with breakfast. Okay,
yeah.
but
I was intrigued. I wanted to hear it. I wanted to see it through.
But what I'm saying is, after 3 hours, we didn't see any fine print. And you sign documents that have fine
Yes.
print. And so if in that amount of time I didn't see it,
That's why I felt like it was like car sales.
it was.
Because when you go into a car sales, they always pull out a piece of paper and they're writing in marker and
Yeah, they're listening to
they're
you
doing all
and
this
taking
stuff, and they're like, well,
notes.
they're just literally writing in marker. Then they circle, and then they turn the paper over, and then they
It's
go
a
back.
tactic.
And I was like, this is this. He's doing it like he's doing this. Can you do this digitally? Can you show me the contract, the term? No, it's just he just kept writing in marker. He was good. I enjoyed the guy, but
Here's the thing.
no way.
What did you say? Because you were the one who said it. Because I remember there was a moment when he said, so which one would you see yourself in? He said that to me. Because he's trying to gauge where we both are.
Yeah.
And so he was like, where do you see yourself? And I said, I don't know. I mean, I guess if we had our kids, we would do a 2-bedroom.
Right.
I don't know. And so then I think he didn't see that we saw ourselves there. You know what I mean? But you are the one who made the denial. You said, no, we're not going to do this. And one of the biggest things that you said was, we don't make decisions of this size without sleeping on it.
Right. I said, we don't do anything that we don't go back and discuss.
And we can't discuss all of that with y'all.
Right. And if I can't leave here and us have a conversation and come back and make an informed decision, I'm not going to make any decision. Because that's just not how we operate. And we would encourage you not to operate like that. Take a pause, because when in the heat of the moment, you can do something that you may regret later. And that's why I always say, when people say we're going to look for a car, I'm like, nope, you're going to buy a car. Nobody goes to look for a car.
Which is why I know I want a new car or new to us car in next year. But I don't want to go looking right now because I don't want to get emotionally attached to a vehicle now.
No, because when you go look, we're going to look for a car. Everybody comes back with a car. And that's just not how we do. We will go and find the car and say, you know what, we're going to go back and think about it. And I'll give you a call.
Right.
Because that's just how we control our emotions and how we don't get emotionally attached to a long-term decision that can have very strong implications.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to do that because I think at some point in this conversation, he said to us, I know it's not a matter of if you can afford it. It's a matter of if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, and I don't want to do it.
Because he was appealing to ego.
Yeah.
In that moment, he was appealing to ego because he never wanted you to feel pressured. So he basically was like, listen, I know you can. And then
he basically said, it ain't tricking if you got it.
Is that what he said?
That's how the song goes. It ain't tricking if you got it.
I don't think that particular man was going to say that. But he sold lots of timeshares. He had accolades in his office. He sold over $2.5 million in timeshares.
Every year for a lot of years.
For several years. And so he's good at what he does.
I mean, the dude had his own office. It was not the conference room. And when we walked by area, he was like, oh, I don't work over there. I paid my dues. We'll go back over here to my office. I was laughing. The whole thing to me was exciting because I was just like, this is interesting.
He was a great salesman.
Yeah.
I actually think he was a good salesman.
I wanted to pull the curtain back and just see what was going on because the rest of our time there, near our hotel room, the building we were staying in, they were doing similar conversations, in the hallways outside the hotel. And I was like, man, they are relentless because they were trying to appeal to people of all statures, statuses, income levels. And so it was very interesting. But look, bottom line, don't get twisted what we're saying. Okay? We have fun. We just enjoy playing around like this sometimes because we want to do the research so we can come back and tell you, don't do it. Because I'd rather you go and plan your vacation, find value options, go out, pay over time to pay your vacation off before you go versus doing a timeshare or something like this.
And I would also say, it's so interesting because you ask them, what if we wanted to come back and make this choice in, while we're here on the property, or can we come back in a year and then decide we wanted to do it? And he said, well, one, this offer is for now, right? And they kept reducing the price. They said, well, what if you did this? What if you did this? They kept doing that because they had another person come in and try and offer us something different.
Right, and the boss came in and said...
The boss man. And we just kept, saying, no, we're not doing it. But the other thing is they said you can't do another tour for 6 months. Like, they wanted you to really feel like this had to be right now. And I reject that. Like, I reject that I have to make thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars decision right now because
on
you
the spot.
said so. No, we're not doing that. And so I think saying no is a superpower. Saying no and being firm and having boundaries is a key to financial success.
You know what's interesting is we did this on the second day of our vacation in the morning. So we literally got out the way first thing, and we just enjoyed the rest of our time on vacation. But while the rest of the time we were there, I was analyzing a lot of different things that further affirmed why I wouldn't do it. Financially, I was just like, this isn't the right thing to do because it's not an asset. You don't actually own it. And I have to have things that are part of our portfolio that we own that create incremental value. And this wasn't one of those things that created value for us. We're going to go on vacation. That's part of, things that we're going to count that up as costs that we're already planning on. But as I was there, I was like, I don't like this. The property was beautiful, but I was like, I don't like that. And it's just like, you can't see that
on day one.
Right. And have made a commitment that you can't get out of after you have determined, oh, this is a drawback. Oh, this is a drawback. Oh, that's a drawback. But you've already committed and signed. I was like, man,
So when I added up how much that investment would be over the course of 20 years, and the reason I said 20 years is because they have a different fee that is assessed at 20 years. And so it was important for me to do that amount of time. And I said, well, what if? So we just started.
We just started asking a bunch of random questions
of ourselves.
They weren't random, but we just started asking questions.
What if we just invested that amount of money in our own property that we own, and it's our vacation property? Because that's a dream of mine, actually, to have a property that we can pass down. My granddaddy had a cottage on a little lake that we went to in the summers, and he owned it, and we knew that this was part of his life's work to have this little getaway spot. And I want to sort of reclaim that type of environment for our family. And it's different when you're doing that and you're building someone else's empire versus building your own. And so it made me get even more excited about the things that we need to do to have our
building our vision versus the guy who owned this is one man. Owns person. All those properties. I was like, wow, that guy is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And everybody is making him rich.
Yeah.
And I think, but when we were there, we started asking questions though that, well, what happens at 20 years when you have to pay this fee? And they said, well, you can upgrade. I was like, oh, more money. Then you reset your 20-year terms. And they had thought through a lot of things. And I was like, it just sounds like I'm continuing to make somebody else wealthy. And this is not something that I could put on my list of assets as, a big thing that would increase my net worth. Right. I was like, nah, I'm good.
So let's talk about make it worth it.
Yes.
So my make it worth it is, well, one thing I'll say is I have no regrets. I think that honestly, the time that we did spend was time well spent.
Yeah, look, I always enjoy spending time with
That's
you.
right, baby. That's right. Mwah. But I also say that we save money. So we did invest some time. Like I said,
Yeah.
pretty sure it was like 3 hours, right? More than that. But we save money on all of our food that we purchased.
Gave us a discount.
They gave us a discount. We save money. We basically buy one massage, get one free.
Yeah, so we got to enjoy the spa.
We did. We had a bigger discount on breakfast. We went on a tour for a reduced cost. Like, we did a lot, and I'm pretty sure it added up to a few $100s at least. And so, in that regard, that was worth it.
Yeah.
My make it worth it is know your boundaries. Know what you will stand for and what you won't. Be in agreement before you do these kinds, like take this type of, this experience, right? If you're going to listen to a timeshare pitch.
Don't get caught up at the end.
Right. Like, be in agreement about what you're doing. And it was enticing, but stand firm in what you know, because the thing is there will always be a way for you to slip into debt further. And this is a way, and it can be exciting, and it's vacation and all the things, but there's going to always be a way for somebody to get you. They want your money in their hands, and they want you to sign for it. And so I just think that we have to really be strong and know who we are and know what we want, because there's going to be temptation everywhere. So I don't know how that's make it worth it, but I just want to encourage people to do them. Don't let somebody else take your money.
My make it worth it is real simple.
Okay.
Go on vacation and just pay for it.
Right.
Just decide where you're going to go, plan accordingly, and pay it off. Like, when you either have it paid before you go, or pay it off as soon as you get back.
Yeah.
But don't let it linger, and don't let it become long-term debt. Go, enjoy yourself, refresh. It doesn't always have to be grand. You don't have to go on a trip to, Greece or Mykonos or, wherever. Go somewhere that is within your budget. Enjoy yourself and come home. And don't have any residual lingering bills that are going to come back that you have to pay year after year after. What if you don't want to go on vacation 1 year and you paid for this? You just lose those weeks for the year.
Or they push them forward, but they only do it once.
No, they push them forward if you pay for the booking fee.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you lose the weeks.
Exactly.
So just pay for your vacation and go and enjoy it and come back home.
So when we've been on several vacations, and I'll speak specifically for the ones with Costco, where you can book it with them and then you can pay on it over time. We've worked with travel agents where we can book it and pay it over time.
Yep.
We have...
It's possible
Yeah.
to have your vacation paid for before you leave.
And we have been a part of our travel group for 6 years consistently. And we booked it, and individually each couple did pay for it however they wanted to pay for it. And again, you can save for it over time.
Yep.
So a vacation is possible if you are proactive. And so
Absolutely.
I just don't want us to fall for the scam, if I can use that word, that we only have to do it their way.
Well, look, just remember, we made this sacrifice for you.
You so silly.
But we had a great time, and we don't want you to get caught up because you're having a great time and they catch you at a, susceptible moment.
Yeah.
And you make a decision, and when you get back home and you start thinking like, whoa, maybe.
What did I do?
Maybe we shouldn't have done this.
So
At a year, 2, 3 years down the line, you're regretting an impromptu or a spontaneous decision that has long-term implications. So.
Right. Exactly. So this was good. Honestly, this is a good reminder because it's been over 20 years since we did that original timeshare tour. And so this was a good reminder that that is not for us. So I hope that this was helpful for those who are listening and
Yes.
watching. And I hope that here's to all the vacations that you pay for with no debt attached.
That's right.
You know?
And so keep tuning in, keep watching, keep listening. And until next time,
we're out.
Thank you for spending some of your time with us today.
We appreciate all of your support. So be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen to this podcast.
You can find us on Instagram at For Better and Worth.
And sign up to receive our free guide, The 7 Reasons Your Money Relationship Isn't Working with Your Partner, on forbetterandworth.com.
Until next time, we're out of here.